back for another discussion. That's really more where I talk in this case. But if you want to interact, all you got to do is enter my Discord and ask questions there. And then you can interact live. So, what exactly is it that I'm talking about? Well, hey buddy. Big Bitcoin distributions mean big mean reversions. What does that mean? Well, as I've said many times, when you have a distribution of an asset, right, on a bell curve, like a normal curve, normal distribution curve, or on a Laplace curve, right? Laplace distribution curve. Big distribution, one that's far away from the mean of distribution, or in this case, the mean of returns. We're talking about trading. Guess what happens when it pulls away very far enough? Eventually, what's it going to do? Well, returns do two things, right? Returns move away from the mean, and then returns mean revert. Right? Well, we know that they move away from the mean because they can't revert to the mean if they haven't moved away from it. So returns mean revert to the mean of returns. Now, how can we tell when it's doing either of those things? Well, we can look at where the precise mean of returns happens to be, and in which direction it's going. And we can do the same thing with the returns. And you can see when they are on top of each other, like, one is at the other. You can tell when they're moving away from each other, and we can tell when they're moving back towards each other. Why is that useful? Well, it's useful because if you're investing or trading in anything, you want to know what the return on investment is going to be. Right? Right. Well, if you literally have an indicator that shows you that would be pretty useful, right? Right. Well, guess what? There is an indicator that shows you that. Wow. Didn't know that, did you? If you're new to trading or new to the discussions about what I talk about, the kind of trading I talk about. What is the kind of trading you talk about? Well, what I talk about is trading volatility, entropy, probability, and statistics. But wait, I thought you said you were interested in the return and the mean. Right. What is volatility? Volatility is the standard deviation of returns. What returns? The returns of investment, right? So it's those returns. And it's the standard deviation away from the mean of returns of investment. So volatility contains that. So just by volatility itself, you can see a lot about the mean and the returns if you understand how it's comprised or what it's comprised of. And by looking at the mean and the returns, you can also see. And what is entropy? The entropy is technically the dispersion of energy in a given space. Well, in trading, what does that even mean when it's just numbers on a screen? You're not distributing energy when you're just changing numbers on a screen. Yes, technically, the energy required to change the numbers, the pixel moving up and down on the screen, that's not a real distribution of energy. But in a sense, it is when those numbers reflect something as simple as a fiat currency amount. It's just a number, so it's a statistical entropy. It's not a physical entropy. It's a numerical entropy. But guess what? That numerical entropy can show you precisely when the asset, based on the entropy and the correlation of it to something else, another type of entropy, when you look at that, you can see when the entropy is in a random walk, which is what it's doing most of the time, or when it's in a trending move. Right? And I know you hear a lot all the time from other technical analysts, technical analysts, that you might be watching on the YouTubes or wherever, and they'll tell you, oh, it's in a trending move. But they don't know what a trending move is. Right? They'll make that statement because of the fact that the asset is running above some moving average. Completely silly nonsense. All a moving average is telling you where the price was. And that's how you get the average you see now. You can't predict future price with past price. You can do other things with past price that are very useful, but they don't teach you those things in traditional TA because they don't know about them. We know about them in alpha trading because we discovered them. Okay? One of them we fully discovered, the other one we discovered through experimentation to make it useful. What is it that we did at alpha trading that's so different in general from all the other trading groups in the world? Well, what we did is, apart from being a friendly and open and welcoming community that actually gives you straight answers that are not constantly conflicting with each other, and building the easiest tools that we know of in the world that are available to use for retail traders on the world's biggest site for charting assets, right, on TradingView. What we did apart from that, which is basically hand you everything, all the tools you need on a silver platter, and all the educational information you need, and all the tutorials, and all the real community live chats, live streams that you can participate in. Apart from all that, what did we do? Our first real great discovery, something I did, something Bilbo did, something a bunch of us co-founders did, we figured out how to scalp delta using volatility. Right? We use volatility and Pearson correlation, and together we were able to, we put those things together, each of us separately. And I remember the day it happened, wrote plenty of notes about it, wrote a book about it, in fact. Right? That's kind of what started my whole, book about this whole thing, is wanting to understand how to do this, and writing down a bunch of notes about it helped me program it into my brain. So I just wrote down questions about every single thing from the very first moment I was learning this stuff, even years before that, but started activating that book even more once I went full bore into it. Yeah, these are nice. New trees. Hello, new trees. One day this will be full trees. So I started writing this book, and what I figured out is how to use volatility and correlation to scalp delta, not just to trade options, because trading options is kind of why these things were invented. But it seemed kind of obvious to me, if I can use volatility and correlation to tell the likely direction of an asset on the current and future candle with extreme accuracy, then why should I limit that to trading options? Right? And most people using these tools, they weren't using correlation along with it. Right? They were just using the volatility reader, not the correlation alongside it. They didn't figure that one out. They didn't figure out that it's giving you tendencies. But there were even other people one or two other people who got it, but they didn't really get it because they still stuck with the older way of doing it. But they understood the concept. In fact, I remember even one of them answered my questions about it. Two of them even answered some of my questions that I had about it. But they were like, yeah, I guess you could do this, or yeah, in theory it would do this or that. But they never really practiced it, at least not at the time. That wasn't their whole mojo, as far as I know. I don't know. I wasn't sitting there with them in person, and I couldn't tell you what they're doing exactly when they say they're trading. But most of them weren't even traders. They were just, I guess, curious about the topic, or I don't know what. Where they liked making mathematical indicators, but they weren't really traders. And if anything, they were trading high time frame options, which is perfectly fine. Even not trading, obviously, perfectly fine. Most people don't, and that's fine, right? But so what we did, right, the proto-genesis seed that was germinated, it was that we figured out how to use that volatility and correlation to scalp delta, to scalp futures, to scalp inverse perpetuals, whatever, to scalp any asset you want on low time frames. And why does this matter? Right? Well, because it lets us use all these tools that were originally invented for options traders and to bring them to a level where they can actually be used for all kinds of traders, not just options traders, and they work with remarkable accuracy for all kinds of traders, not just options traders. Why does that matter? Well, you tell me why it would matter that the single tools for trading anything on any time frame are available to retail traders when the entire market is set against retail traders. Right? It's designed to rip off retail traders. It's designed to take your retail trading liquidity. Why should it matter? You tell me. Right? I can give you a pretty good answer for that, but you tell me, why does it matter that retail traders now have access to the world's greatest tools available to retail traders, right? These are the same exact type of tools that are used by the HFT firms, the algo shops, or quant shops as they're known, right? Basically, we're giving retail traders a leg up. The only thing is you have to actually want to learn it, because it is not something that you will learn if you're like most retail traders. It's not something you're going to learn overnight, and it's not something you're going to learn and then just immediately be a billionaire successful trader at it. No, it's a learned skill. It takes time, and most people are degens and they don't want to take the time to learn, and that's precisely why they end up failing learning this way of trading. Those that do learn it and those that do put it into practice, pretty much all of them end up making bank. How do I know? Well, come ask the people in our trading community. Right? It's not magic. Not some secret information that we won't tell you. We will tell you everything. You just have to ask questions, and even if you don't ask questions, we will still tell you things, because we post stuff in there on a regular basis, and there's tons of information for you to go through and learn. Right? You can even get that. I mean, it's all free. It's all freely available. The only stuff that isn't freely available is access to our Pro Traders indicator suite, and that's it. But we actually give you free indicators to learn the basics with, so that you can see for yourself that A, it works, B, you know how to use it, and C, you can actually run trades and profitably, consistently with our free tools. And if you want to take your trading to the next level, you can. To do that, you just got to go to the Discord of Alpha Trading, which is just located at alphatradinghq.com/discord. You can also just go to the website alphatradinghq.com and click on the link at the top that says Discord. Somewhere there's a link there that says Discord in the top area. But again, just go to the Discord directly. The URL for the Discord is alphatradinghq.com/discord. And just request your free access to the volatility starter kit, and we'll get you hooked up. All right, that's it, guys. Happy trading.